These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording on Saturday, March 23rd, on the back-to-back for the Celtics. They play the Bulls tonight as we're recording the bulk of this. We'll obviously be talking about the Bulls later on in this podcast. However, a reminder, as always, to leave a like on the video. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to How About Them Celtics as well. Comment what's popping for a chance to win a $10 Incognito gift card. And if you're listening on podcast platforms, just follow the show. Leave a 5-star rating. We'd appreciate it very, very much. But as it is the title and the whole point of this podcast, let's talk about Celtics-Bulls. All right, Sam and I are here after Celtics-Bulls. Celtics bringing home a win in Chicago at the United Center, 124-113 over the Chicago Bulls. Celtics win without Jaylen Brown, Kristaps Porzingis, and Jrue Holiday. Meanwhile, the Bulls are without Zach LaVine, who they've been out with all season, and they've been better without him. So I guess this is the best version of the Bulls technically you've seen all season. Celtics grind out a win, relatively close the whole game. Celtics pulled away in the fourth quarter and kept it that way. But the Bulls were fighting. Bulls decided not to miss any shots tonight. Luckily, the Celtics just took double the amount of three. Literally double the amount of threes the Bulls did. And that was the difference. So another win for the Celtics, but weird.
The Bulls shot 57.3% tonight and lost by 11. It's the highest field goal percentage the Celtics have allowed in a win in a quarter century, almost to the day. The Charlotte Hornets shot 58.6 and lost at home to the Celtics on March 30th, 1999. What a unbelievable display of math today.
Weird game. The Bulls, I had this realization during the game. The Bulls are just like if you took the Suns and made the players the Suns have worse. That's what the Bulls are.
Worse.
That's just worse version of the Suns. And the Suns are fine, but they're like a play-in team in the West.
Right.
But like Kevin Durant versus DeMar DeRozan, Kobe White versus Devin Booker, Alex Caruso versus Bradley Beal. Well, I guess you can debate that one, but it's not going to cut it. The Bulls made a lot of their shots, like you said, 57.3%. Were you watching this and saying, wow, the Celtics defense sucks? Like I couldn't tell. I wasn't watching as closely as I usually do, unfortunately, because I watch with my family. No complaints.
I just thought the Celtics defense was weird.
You texted me halfway through talking about this.
Like they're like blitzing DeRozan. Like, you really need to blitz DeRozan? I think you could just play defense. You could just kind of sit back. I don't know if they had to do that. It kind of felt like they were doing like a science game where they were trying to figure out things they could do in the playoffs and junk defenses that they could roll out there. There was one possession where Svi was in the game and they just like sent him from the corner to go charge the ball. And I was like,
that's what he does.
What is happening?
That's what he's been doing the past like 4 games. He's just been running around. Weirdly enough, I was getting more frustrated with their offense in this game.
Really?
At times.
More.
Very specifically, the way they were using Jason Tatum. When Jason Tatum was in the game, it was either Tatum ISO or Tatum is not involved in the play at all. There was no in between. It was rarely an in between. Like I had a couple things down. There were a couple actions he ran with Derek White that I thought were fun, like pick and roll with him. But for a long stretch in, I think it was the third quarter, and I tweeted about it, and it was right before an Al Horford 3, so I could probably pinpoint when it was, but I won't go through and look at that. It felt like Tatum was in the game, but they were running the offense through Payton Pritchard and Al Horford instead, which is fine, but like that's not necessarily the best way to run things. And they were going through a drought, and the Bulls were like doing some stuff. So it goes back to the thing we always talk about with like why just run Tatum ISOs at the end of the game. Then I had another revelation for that too, because that's kind of what they did in this game too. They just gave it to Tatum. The Celtics offense this season is, I would say, you can correct me if I'm wrong if you have a different opinion, 80% hunting mismatches. That is like 80%. Like it'll start in a pick and roll. It'll start in like an action off the ball, but like 80%, unless they're going for an off the ball Sam Hauser 3, it is finding a mismatch, attacking it, and working off of that. And so Tatum ISOs at the end of games, especially in this one in the last Pistons game, and maybe the Bucks game too a little bit, is because they find a mismatch they like. And tonight it was Kobe White, and he just bullied Kobe White and did what he wanted. And it worked. And so I feel like that's what you see a lot of the times there. And it's better when you run a pick and roll with Tatum there or use Tatum as like, it just feels like they don't use Tatum enough for spurts throughout the game. Like rather than having these very condensed, okay, we're going to use Tatum now. Let's decide to use him. And it's just Tatum. You're spamming it. Like when they're not spamming it, he's just sitting in the corner. like I just feel like they could balance the way they use him more throughout the game. And this is just, again, I'm gonna say it for every game of the rest of the season. They're fucking sleepwalking. Like this is the most clear I've ever seen in my life. The Celtics are, like you said, testing shit and just sleepwalking through the rest of the season. They let the Bulls shoot 57% and they won the game by 11. But this is just something that I was like, that's a little weird the way they're doing that throughout the game.
I mean, it's kind of been the story with Tatum all year. It's kind of why I get annoyed with him / the way they use him. Oddly enough, I kind of thought he was good today. I thought there were some great plays that they did, like a baseball relay to
He
get
was
the ball
good.
to
This
Al
was
Horford in the corner.
yes,
They
yes.
created so many corner threes today just by getting the ball to somebody on the roll, whether it was Tatum driving and then kicking it to somebody or somebody else hitting him while he was rolling. And Al Horford and Hauser were just the
Mhm.
beneficiaries of it. Both of them knocked down today. And they were both
Yeah.
excellent. I was watching and I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. Why don't they just do this every game?
And the stretch where I was talking about, like, oh, they didn't use Tatum right. It wasn't an indication of like Tatum was bad because I also think he was pretty all right in this game. Could do without the foul baiting bullshit. I noticed a couple times in this game was annoying.
Uh-huh.
But it was more of the Celtics offense wasn't clicking right, and they still just decided not to use him at all. Like they still decided, like, nah, he's just playing off the ball. He's a decoy. Which is like, I get the concept of using him as a decoy, but after it doesn't work for 4 straight possessions, maybe you try to switch it up. Maybe we get him involved in the action a little bit. So that was something I was like confused about. I don't know who's gonna be the thumbnail today, Sam. Could be Al. Very well could be Al. But this man Cornette decided I'm gonna grab every fucking rebound that comes my way. He had 5 offensive rebounds, 8 defensive rebounds. And yes, the Celtics outmathed the Bulls, but if you want to dive into some of the other numbers, they showed it on the broadcast. I'm gonna pull it up here. Second chance points, Celtics 23, Bulls 2. that's another number.
So Luke Cornett kind of cucked Andre, greatest rebounder of all time, Drummond today. Just absolutely bullied him and Vucevic on the glass and took all of the offensive rebounds, all of the boards. And I think he probably didn't even get credit, like Scal was saying on the broadcast, for a couple of them because he was just tapping them out. He was a force down there. I don't know what it is he's doing that makes him so great at being in position. Obviously, you could be like, he boxes out, Sam, but just the read he seems to be getting on these shots as they're in the air, he always feels like he's in the right spot, whether or not he's actually getting the rebound or not. Thought he was great. He's always pretty consistent on offense. He's somebody I trust to make the right decision, which is why I really look forward to him getting playoff minutes this year. I think it should make you feel way better about Horford and Porzingis going forward too, because you're seeing games where, like, I mean, this is back-to-back games. Actually, maybe even more than that. No, everybody played Wednesday, where Cornette has been the second big guy because those guys are sitting, and he's been good.
Every other night now. Every other night
He's becoming Pritchard, where anytime he actually gets real minutes, he produces numbers. It's not even just the, hey, it's great if we don't notice Luke Cornette. No, like he's actually doing stuff now, which is great. It's a bonus.
Yeah. That was fun to watch. He was great. We can talk about Al too, obviously. 5 of 10 from 3, 8 of 16, 23 points, was inching towards that 30-point mark that we've joked about on the pregame show. He was dope. Shout out Big Al. This was like a throwback performance for him. The threes were just raining down. He attacked Kobe White in the block a couple of times too, which is fun to watch him get down and dirty. This is what you need from Al if he's going to be playing 30 minutes a night. You just make your threes, go down to the post sometimes. Done. Fin. End. good.
I was watching, oddly enough, Game 3 of the 2022 NBA Finals today. Just highlights of it.
Sure.
And I was like, it's kind of weird, like having Horford be like the main big guy. Just like thinking back, I was like, it's kind of weird. And then he comes out today. He's like, no, it's not. Nope, I'm still here. I'm still productive. Yep. I'm still putting up points. I'm still doing a good job defending smaller players. I can still move. He said they would be fine if they didn't have Porzingis, which probably isn't true. I would like Porzingis to be healthy. Make no mistake. But he is not washed by any means, is really the point of this. And he was great today. He had a big stretch to keep the Celtics afloat in this game in the third quarter. They were kind of reeling there for a little while. And then he said, nope, that's enough of that. 3, driving layup, 3, cooked.
Yeah. He was awesome. Speaking of cooked, didn't have an efficient game, This was another really good Payton Pritchard night. Like
Was he not efficient?
no, he shot 5 of 13 and 2
Yeah.
of 6. So he wasn't amazing. But Keith Smith tweeted out, he's like, the Bulls are just like guarding him actively with Alex Caruso. Like they're putting their best
Yes.
defender on Payton Pritchard. This man still had 15 points, 8 assists, 0 turnovers, by the way, and he had the ball in his hands a lot. He played a third on the team high, 33-44 on the night behind Tatum and Derek White. And a team high plus 17. For context, he was a plus 17. The next highest was Al at plus 9. So like the Celtics just dominated when Payton Pritchard was on the floor. He was running everything for these guys. He was great. Dude, he is. I've said it for the past 4 shows. He makes $8 million. not even yet. Like this is ridiculous. Payton Pritchard is an amazing NBA player. Like he doesn't get enough credit. And shout out to Noah Dazzell, who tweeted this guy's an all-star, and then he's just been a monster ever since she tweeted that.
He has been a beast. Scal was gassing him up on the broadcast today in a different way than Scal would usually gas somebody up. He was. I don't know how much you actually got to like listen to what they were talking about because you were with your sister, but he was talking about how he sees Payton Pritchard as a player. Meaning, we all have a view of Payton Pritchard. We see him as bench scoring guard for the Celtics, and that's about it. Scal envisions him as pro-am Payton Pritchard. He knows and understands what he's, at least is what he was saying. He knows he's capable of just being an offensive machine, cooking, making the right reads, setting up his teammates, and being someone you can ride. And we've seen that over the last week or so. Last 5 games, he's probably around 17 points per game now because he only had 15 today. But how could you ask for a better time of year for him to just show up and turn up out of nowhere? Like, I think we all thought he was good this season. I think the bench as a whole kind of got off to a slow start, especially in the first couple games of the season. But since then, him and Hauser have really become efficient three-point shooters. And then now he's taking the next step in becoming a smart passer, great with the dribble. He's doing the run around the paint dribble, in and out of the paint. And he hit Tillman with the over-the-head pass today that was excellent. The Celtics really, really hit on this one. We said after 5 games in March, but still.
I mean, Pro-MP, like, I know it's a Pro-Am. I know it's not NBA level talent across the board. I don't care if you're playing against toddlers in what likely wasn't a 48-minute game. Like, maybe it was, but like, I don't care. You're scoring 92 points. You're not missing many fucking shots against like other grown men who are trying actively to defend you. Like, I don't care if this is like he's going up against a couple JV kids, whatever. These are guys who are like professional hoopers somewhere in some capacity, have been somewhere. 92? Are you like that? That is a ridiculous amount of like consistency with which you have to be able to score. I don't care. Like as toddlers was excessive, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are grown men. These aren't obviously not NBA players, so people are going to look at it and be like, oh, well, it wasn't NBA talent. Yeah, no shit. No one's scoring 92 in the NBA, you fucking psycho. But like, putting up 92 points at like even like a secondary level of basketball is ridiculous and a testament to how much of a hooper this dude is. So credit to him. Yeah, speaking of,
did you hear them
hooper, go
reference the Greeny tweet of like, hey, he's putting up like Steve Nash MVP numbers.
No.
Did you hear that?
No.
Like the points per game and assists per game are a little bit off, but he's relatively close in his starts.
That's disgusting. That's so foul. That's such a shot at Steve Nash. It's so fucked.
Football season may be over, but the action on the floor is heating up. Whether it's a tournament season or the fight for a playoff home court, there's no shortage of high-stakes basketball moments this time of year. Get in on the excitement with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app, where you can turn your hoops knowledge into serious cash. Testing my skills on Prize Picks this season is the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $1,000 with just a few taps. Prize Picks is really simple to play, and I can make my picks and submit my entry in less than 60 seconds. Download the app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Use the code CLNS for the first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
Speaking of Hooper, though, this motherfucker Sam Hauser's ankle is not hurt. He is fine.
Makes one of us.
Yeah, right? Out of the three of us, this dude is absolutely fine. The way I always talk about like how great his shot is to watch, the way this dude moves off the ball is gorgeous. Like this dude is coming around a screen, ready, catch, shoot. Doesn't matter where he catches it, that shit's going in. He had a pass from Tatum that came above his head, swish in. He had a pass below his knees, caught it, rose, shot in. Doesn't matter. This dude catches the ball and you're not like in his mouth, you lose. Sorry. 7 of 8 from 3 tonight is ridiculous.
That is pretty good. 2 less threes than the Bulls as a team. Can't complain too much. Shout out to Terp for that one. He tweeted it out.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
I need to Terp bomb him. Where is he? I gotta go show him.
But yeah, Hauser is back. He looked comfortable. He again was the beneficiary of the cutoff man play where they were just hitting all the corner guys, making Chicago pay for sagging off. I mean, power rankings of people not to sag off. Sam Hauser, number 1.
That is probably pretty far up the list of guys you don't want to sag off.
Maybe that's why Chicago's bad.
I mean, yeah, they're just kind of leaving him to do his thing sometimes. Credit to Derek White, who didn't have a particularly amazing game, but he came up big at the end. Like he made a couple shots that really helped him close this one out. 6 assists. He was solid. I'm trying to think. I would actually say the stats don't reflect it. Shea Brissett was fucking awesome in this game. He really ruled in this one. He only played 16 minutes, but 3 of 3, 4 rebounds, 3 of those offensive. And similar to Cornette, like some of the stuff he was doing on the offensive glass didn't really get noticed in the stat sheet. Like it wasn't a stat, but he was pressuring. And that 1 3 he hit came at a really big point in the game where they really needed a bucket. So credit to your guy. He looked good.
Tell you, man, like that could happen in a playoff game. Tell me it couldn't. Tell me he couldn't like get going on the offensive glass, then get a couple baskets to go. Like it's not the craziest thing to think. If it actually happens, it'll be the greatest episode of this show of all time.
I don't think it's impossible. I just don't think he'll play much in the playoffs.
Oh, I don't either. But I hope he doesn't have to. Let's put it that way. Because if he is, that means somebody's hurt.
Actually, you know what? I hope he does just in the last 10 minutes of the game when the game's over already.
I hope he doesn't play meaningful minutes.
Yeah, sure. We'll put it that way, yes. Yeah, he was good. Torrey Craig, this is really random. He was really irritating me early on. He needed to stop. Like he was just making threes. I didn't think he should be making. Like, but the Bulls scoring was so even. DeRozan had 28, but then Caruso 14, Vooch 14, Desudmu 14, White 11, Craig 11, Terry 12. Like just even across the board. You see Drummond hit Cornette with the too little.
He did.
Yeah, fucked up.
Let's look at the stat sheet.
Yeah, right. Oh, speaking of texts, what are we doing? These texts are
all the texts are bad today.
All around. That Dale and Terry one, I tweeted it. Maybe the worst tech I've ever seen. Genuinely the worst tech I've ever seen in my life. Like, I know you always joke, oh yeah, just get him and hurt themselves. If he had let go any sooner, he genuinely would have hurt himself. Like,
I agree.
What are we doing?
Referees like throw like a celebration if somebody's like getting stretchered off. Like they're all happy. They have like the little noise makers like at New Year's. Same thing. That would be how they feel.
It's terrible, man. That was so bad. What is this? Sorry, Jake Issenberg, our guy just tweeted something. Most threes made in a game this season, and it's just 3 out of the 7 of the league's highest are just all the Celtics.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, I see.
25, 25, 25, and 3 of the 7 teams on the board are franchise records. That is insane. Oh man. Yeah, shout out to the Celtics. Shout out to I don't know, who's the thumbnail today, Sam? Who's the thumbnail? Who I slap on there? Is it Al?
Yeah, I think it's Al Horford.
I think we got to throw Al. I'll throw Al on there with DeRozan. DeRozan was making some tough shots too. He looked pretty good in this game, to his credit. Kobe White did not look good. Anyways, any final thoughts before we get out of here and throw it to the rest of the show?
I did think of Kobe White, and I was like, huh, Jack keeps telling me this guy's good. Don't see it.
He usually is. He was not in this one. He did not have a good
It
night.
didn't even feel like he was involved. Like, not even like he
No.
was like actively hurting them. I guess 3 of 11. Yeah, he had his opportunities.
He had 10
Um,
assists. He was dishing
yeah,
it well, but
Sure.
it was not his night. Well, the issue with Kobe White is, as you see, the Bulls don't have 3-point shooting, and he's probably their best 3-point shooter. So if he's not making his threes, they're fucked. Like, they have no real chance. Alex Caruso and Torrey Craig combined for 7 threes. The Bulls as a team had 2 for the rest. So it's probably not conducive to success. Probably not going to get you there, guys.
It is nice seeing the Celtics just go out there and like play patty cake and then win by double digits.
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
sick. It's kind of fun. I mean, I was telling you during the Pistons game, I said, like, I think verbatim, I said this during the Pistons game. The Celtics don't look very good, but they're still up 20. If this was the Hawks or the Bulls, they'd probably only win by 6. Turns out it's 11, not 6.
11. Yeah.
I was close enough.
And we'll find out on Monday what the Hawks line is.
It's true. Let's
Yeah.
take a look. But all right, we good? All you got?
Also, later in the show, I'm going to say Derek White. I'm worried about his confidence. Scratch that.
Noted. All right.
Yeah.
Scratch that. All right, let's start to the rest of the pod. All right, we are back, and we are talking about hopefully less fun news. Hopefully the Celtics-Bulls wasn't less fun than this, but Jrue Holiday, injury. Has missed 3 games in a row now. Will have been 4 games by the time you guys hear this, because he is out tonight versus the Bulls as well. Adam Himmelsbach of the Boston Globe reporting he has been experiencing, quote, dead arm since getting hit with the hard screen against the Wizards on Sunday, March 17th. And that, quote, his absence is about more than simply being cautious. Holiday said, I'm feeling something for sure. He's been receiving medical treatment, but the best medicine for his injury is rest, per Himmelsbach. That said, Holiday said, I still want to play. It's part of the reason I play basketball, but it's also keeping in a rhythm. Sometimes when you're out for a long time, you break a rhythm, but I feel like I've been in a good groove, and I want to continue to play. Joe Mazzola also noted that he has been, quote, doing well and, quote, getting better. So, for what it's worth, it doesn't sound like super serious to me, but it's serious enough to have a whole article and report about it, so I think that's the concerning part.
I agree. I don't think anybody expected this. They didn't have to say anything. They didn't have to have anything come out about it, which is the concerning part, because everybody was just like, yeah, I can get behind Holiday not playing in some of these games against meaningless teams. Sure, why not? But then when the Globe is publishing something that's like, hey, just in case anybody was curious, he's not doing great. He's actually hurting. Don't love it. Don't love it. The play looks nasty now that they kind of highlighted it. Everyone was tweeting it out. Forsberg put it out yesterday. You haven't seen it?
No.
It's everywhere. But anyways, it's Holiday against Washington. He runs into a hard screen, and he looks how... Do you remember, I'm sure you do, when Kevin Love was running around holding his arm at the Garden after Kelly Olynyk got to him? That's what Holiday looked like. He didn't look very comfortable at all. He was very clearly hurt. Not a fan of how that looked on camera.
Yeah, I see it now. I'll share the play for those who would like to watch it on YouTube.
Who wouldn't?
Into a screen from Rich
And wham!
And
See that? Yeah.
People's ears are going to be bleeding.
I don't know. It's like
runs into the screen.
I'm getting comments that people can't hear me. I don't know what to do.
Who commented they can't hear you? That's
Pete
insane.
said you want to fix your mic because sometimes we can't hear you.
I think that's because the audio interference. Like, I think it is peaking, and so like if I'm talking and you're talking at the same time, one of the you can't hear one of them. I don't think it's a.
All right.
I don't think it's a volume thing. But yeah, Jrue, dead arm. I don't know. I feel like people are gonna make like a bigger deal out of this than is the case because of the article, which like fair enough. Like because the article is written about it and it's clear that he is hurting. That said, I don't know. I also don't think it is that big of a deal. Like, I think he'll be okay by the playoffs. I think there's going to be an abundance of caution. And if anything, I think they'll hold Jrue out until like the last few games of the season so we can get a rhythm back and then bring him back then. And this just does like dead arm doesn't seem like something to me that's going to keep him out for what, a month? Like we think he's going to be out for a month. Like that seems outlandish to me. Like, I feel like that's extra. Like, I believe that he's still hurting and I believe that there's still a little bit of like a tweak in there, but I feel like them saying the best treatment is rest. Like, if the best treatment is rest, I can't imagine it keeps him out for 2 months, right? Like nothing that keeps you out for over a month is just rest. I'm not a doctor, but obviously that's just like how I perceive it, at least.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, just a wide perspective on this, like you mentioned, the Celtics are not going to really play any meaningful games for literally a month. OKC comes to town. They play Milwaukee again. They play the Knicks again. But off the top of my head, there's no other game that I think people are going to be like, oh, yeah, can't wait to watch this one. Really hope they win and prove something to us. So there's no real purpose in bringing him back soon. And also, it should make you feel better because worst case scenario, Holiday is out for a real long time. Let's say 6 weeks. 6 weeks from now, they're probably going to just start playing meaningful basketball. Like, yes, you can't lose round one, but do we really think any team in round one is going to give them fits? Maybe if you're really scared of Miami, which is fair. But besides that, not really. Like, there really isn't that much of a reason to rush him back before then. The only thing that we kind of talked about yesterday when we first heard about this was, yeah, want to get him feeling good before he has to play in a tight situation. Having him come back for the final few games sounds like the best plan to me. He'll have free reign in shots. They won't really care if they're winning. I'm sure something will be made of whatever amount of wins they have around the point he comes back. So they might be pushing to get a record, or at least the media will be pushing for them to get a record because we're all looking for something to talk about at this time of year. But besides that, there's no real concern, even though it sucks. Like, this is sucky news. The way it's presented sucks, but broad perspective, he should be okay.
Yeah. The other thing, like that I said, just get him in a rhythm. Just because his 3-point stroke has been on fire. Like, he has been a monster from three this year, and you don't want him to lose that for the postseason. So, outside of that, though, I don't think you need to make any big deal out of it. But we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Next thing, Jaylen Brown has been observing Ramadan. He caught up with reporters, talked to Abby about it. Abby Chin, NBC Sports Boston, asked about it. He said, it's an amazing time of year. It's a bunch of people all over the world who participate. I'm just one of those people who fall in line. It's an amazing month to celebrate. It's about your strength, your focus, and receiving those clarities. It's something I've enjoyed participating in over the years, but something I don't make about myself. Everyone's doing it together, so I'm appreciative of that. Abby asked, is it difficult as a professional athlete? He said, I don't think it's difficult at all. People have a lot more difficulties in different parts of the world. They don't have the same blessings or the same opportunities, the same privileges that I have. So I don't look at it as difficult at all. He also talked about how it affects his faith emotionally, physically, and spiritually, et cetera, et cetera. This, like, ever since we signed the extension, like, all the, like, perspective that Jaylen has brought to the Celtics, I just think it's been so fun. Like, he's just a good person. Like, at the end of the day, like, just hearing him talk about this, hearing him talk about, like, yeah, like, I don't think it's hard at all. Like, not eating from sunrise to sundown when he's got to play games and practice and all this stuff. He's like, yeah, no, it's not hard. People have bigger things going on in the world. I think it just is another example of, like, as much as the Celtics are a great basketball team, they also have, like, a just genuinely, like, good humans on the team, which is really fun. It makes it very easy to root for. So credit to Jaylen for this perspective. And just in general, like, this, I enjoyed reading this and hearing him say it.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting perspective. It's incredible and fascinating to me how he fuels his body despite not really eating all day. Because, like you mentioned, he's doing a lot. Like, you have to fuel yourself somehow. I don't know if they're just giving him mega calorie things at the end of the day to make sure he has enough to make sure he gets through the day. But that's such a fascinating angle to this, just from like a physical standpoint, is interesting to me. But they do have, like, the best nutritionists and trainers and all the people in the world, like he kind of mentions, helping him out and making sure everything is going correctly. So I don't think fans should be concerned about this, which is not something you mentioned, but it is, like, something that pops up when you're like, hey, like, let's make sure this guy eats enough so he's not going out there and hurting himself or having his muscles not be nourished properly. Like, you don't want him to get hurt at this time of year before the playoffs. I don't think we've seen players previously in Ramadan get hurt, have the actual fasting get in the way of their physical performance. So just in case you were worrying about that, I don't think you should. And just to further boost that argument, he's averaging like 30 points a game with 6.5 rebounds since March 10th, which is when Ramadan started. Because I saw Noah put these quotes out today after Abby asked the question last night, and I was like, this is pretty remarkable, because I kind of didn't know this was happening. And all we've been talking about for weeks is like, yeah, Jaylen is the best Jaylen we've ever seen. And it's true. And he's doing this all while he's probably pretty hungry.
Yeah, I just credit to him. I mean, he's playing like a monster regardless. Like, he's just super fun to watch play.
Imagine when they start feeding him.
I respect Jaylen's perspective, and I think it's great to hear how he approaches it, like the understanding that there isn't like this isn't the biggest difficulty going on in the world, and so he's doing it for his faith, and he's still a professional athlete. Like, I think not every NBA player would have that perspective, so I enjoy hearing him talk about it in that way. So good for Jaylen. Shout out to him.
Respect.
Meanwhile, exactly. Meanwhile, the Celtics have made NBA history with their win over the Pistons on Friday. Connor Roach of Boston.com, wrote about it. Celtics 25-point win, or 27, but 25+ point win against the Pistons. 15th 25-point win this season. That's an NBA record, or tied an NBA record with the 71-72, or this 1970-71 and 71-72 Bucks did it both years. And the Spurs did it in 2015-16. And the Celtics still have 12 games to play, so they still have time to beat it. They have averaged a 25-point win roughly every 5 games, which is crazy when you think about it that way. And they've also had 7 25-point wins in the last 21 games, and they've gone 19-2 in those games. So pretty good. That's kind of insane to think about.
You're looking at a 33% championship win rate out of this. I mean, honestly, the Bucks in 71 are the only of these teams to have actually got the job done. And as they were saying all throughout 2016, it don't mean a thing without the ring. So at this point, I don't care. But if they win a championship, I'll be like, look how great this team was. They were so dominant. Is this the best team of all time? Maybe. Look how many 25-point wins they had over these teams throughout the regular season. That should absolutely go on their resume. It doesn't matter that they didn't win 73 games to tie the Warriors. Whatever. Cool. I think we felt this throughout the season. We felt it in the point differential. And I think this is a good thing overall because throughout the years.
Wow. Hot take from you. That winning by 25 points 15 times is a good thing. Hot take.
Well, after I just shit on it for a minute, I'll go back and be serious. And I'm going to tell you why it's a good thing specifically for this group is because in years past.
You're the worst. This is ridiculous.
No, let me fucking finish. This team has had a history of just not being able to have the killer instinct. And it's something that was talked about for years. Why do they keep blowing leads? Why do they not just axe teams that are way worse than them? Why do they play down to their competition? And it feels like the playing down to the competition thing is gone. I know Greeny consistently tweets out there. How much did you hear? What was the last thing?
I know Greeny consistently tweets it out.
They have one loss against sub 500 teams this year. It was the one game back in November that they blew that lead against the Hornets with like 4 minutes to play. They were up 11 and they had a billion chances to actually win and they didn't get the job done. Aside from that, they have crushed these teams. Now, the bad news is you really don't play sub 500 teams in the playoffs. I guess, can you this year? Are these playing teams in the East that bad that they're sub 500?
Yeah. If you
All
get
right,
the
good
Bulls,
news.
if you get the Bulls or the Hawks, they are, but this Heat and Sixers aren't. So it depends on if the Bulls or the Hawks pull off an upset.
They could, and they would play the Celtics. So Celtics could be getting ready for round 1. Good strategy. I would love if all the playoff wins were actually 25-point blowouts. I would love that.
Cool. That would be pretty cool. The progression of you going, this doesn't matter, this sucks, but actually it's kind of good was just made me die laughing.
Well, I have to play the character, you fucking prick. What do you want me to be like? Yeah, it's the greatest thing ever. Haha, next.
Well, you could have been, yeah, this is cool, but I get it. It was just the dichotomy. I know.
I have to make fun of it first because really it doesn't fucking matter. Like them joining teams doesn't matter, but the fact that they're doing it is good for this group's character.
I know. It was just the progression with which you went about it that made me laugh. It was good. It was good. Have they blown out? I can't remember. I'm like trying to think through. I was trying to find it, but I couldn't find like a go-to list. How many of their like off of the top of your head? How many of them were against like playoff caliber teams? Do you remember? I
Pacers.
can't find a list. Yep.
They
Not
killed
that like.
Sacramento. They killed the Warriors.
Yep.
I think Christmas. I don't know how many they won by on Christmas, but I don't think it was 25. Phoenix. Did they win by
11.
25 in one of those games? They blew them out. They might have
They
blown
won.
out Dallas.
They won by 25 against Phoenix. Yeah, March 14th.
They killed Dallas in the game in Dallas. It felt like it was just a blowout.
Yep, they won by 28.
They beat up on Miami that one game.
Yep.
In Miami.
Good call. Interesting.
Milwaukee, they haven't done it. Cleveland, both the games here were relatively contested. They beat up the Knicks pretty bad, I think, one game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm right.
No, I think most of those were. I just couldn't find a list.
They beat the piss out of the Raptors in that game. In the Bulls, they had the integrity of the game.
The Bulls, yeah. I suppose those are like not the worst of the worst teams. Interesting.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just curious. I couldn't find I don't know where to find a list of like biggest margin
killed the
victory
Clippers
wins.
in LA.
They did. I was only remembering the time they got killed by the Clippers, but I guess they did just.
Yeah, no, they got him back. They got him back, but
murder.
they did kill him.
Yeah, I don't know.
Pelicans game was close.
I couldn't find the list.
I think they blew. Right. No, they didn't blow Philly out in any of those games. They ended up winning by a lot in the final one, but they were relatively close for most of it. They were actually almost losing in the fourth. All right, we can move on. Sorry.
Cool. No. Sorry, I was thinking too. Anyways, let's move on to the email. But first, let's go to What's Poppin'. We have 2 entries today. A reminder, comment What's Poppin' on this video for a chance to win a $10 Incognito gift card. 2 entrants. We've got Ruben and Logan battling it out to see who will win a $10 Incognito gift card. Let us see
who's it gonna be?
Congratulations, Ruben. Ruben, email us at hbtcpod@gmail.com with your name and phone number, and we'll get you hooked up with a $10 Incognito gift card. We appreciate you. And again, comment What's Poppin' on the video for a chance to be entered on the wheel to win a gift card for yourself. But let's go to the email. And a reminder to email us at hbtcpod@gmail.com. Be like RJ, who has sent us a lot of emails since the last time we recorded. So let's catch up with RJ, see what we got. What's poppin'? The way to rest the C's against the Bucks. Happy Wednesday, guys. Just listening to the Talking C's segment. Had a couple of quick thoughts. Celtics should rest their starters tonight by going up big on the Giannis-less Bucks. Oops. And then letting the Jays and KP and Al's left big toe relax in the second half. I do think Sam Hauser should get the night off to give his ankle more recovery time. As to bringing back the Michael Jackson glove in the gameplay, maybe JB can use reflective tape or on top of it, the regular athletic tape like this stuff. And he sent us a link. I see. Sure. Maybe
they would not allow that.
No.
Silver would be the anti-fun police once
I was
again.
Trying to share. Yeah, this is what he was referencing to. There's the picture on the screen. I want the C's to win tonight so they can demonstrate they learned the lesson of the Laker game in Boston. Don't take anything for granted. Be well. RJ, I wonder if JB has a good moonwalk, he says. It was relative. They killed him for like 3 quarters and then they let up. But I guess they just did it opposite. They should have done that in the first quarter, then killed him for the rest of the game. But yeah, we've talked about that since. What's poppin' the Broken Record Edition? Morning, folks. Another needlessly exciting game against the Bucks, but a win is a win. And now the Celtics are 3 wins away from clinching the best record in the East. All the qualities the Celtics have improved upon as a team. The one thing they're still poor at is executing offense when they bring the ball up slowly. And for whatever reasons, if they get the ball in the front court too quickly, as defined by the shot clock is still in the 20s, they get better shots. Even when they run the clock down, they are finding better looks and being more successful than if they get into their half-court offense with 19 or fewer seconds on the clock. Okay, if they can't run it slowly yet, then just keep playing at a quicker tempo so the opposition doesn't get back in the game. I like Svi getting Sam's minutes in the first half, not because I'm enamored with his performance, but Joe is staying true to his word and giving the next guy up in the stay ready crew his moment when it's his turn. Consistent mindset and intentional play starts at the top. Lots of people are chattering about the Celtics reducing their bench like to come playoffs, but with Hauser, Pritchard, Cornette, Horford, Tillman all contributing to winning basketball, I can only see the Celtics going 9 deep and maybe switching up minutes for Luke and X based on matchups. Are you seeing anything differently close up? And if so, who do you think is getting set down? Be well, RJ, and still enjoying the worst 55-14 team in the NBA.
Svi has been pretty impressive. He's been more impressive than I thought he would be, and you were excited about him during the playback, playing some good defense. So I think that's like a reassuring thing that we all just got to take in. Be like, he's not as consistent as Hauser is from 3, but he's not a bad Hauser light, is he?
Not at all. And I wrote like 3 like niche things I noticed versus the Pistons for Celtics blog this morning, and Svi's defensive progression was one of them. And I think it has gotten better, the activity, but there are definitely still some issues because like he is taking too many gambles. He's, you know how Holiday has the freedom to like gamble within the system and like make plays.
Yes.
Svi's kind of doing that, but he's just not good enough to get back and make
He's
up for his
missing.
mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's kind of something that I noticed as well. So it's kind of a balance, and you've got to find it. But the activity has been good as far as who could sit in the playoffs. I think it's just what you said. I think Pritchard, Hauser, and Horford will get the same minutes. Horford will definitely get a lot. Maybe Hauser and Pritchard get a bit fewer, depending on if they need to run the starters. And then Tillman and Luke will just depend on the matchup. So we'll see what happens from that perspective. But you have any other thoughts other than that?
I mean, I just think Cornette has been way better than anybody would have thought. Like head and shoulders above. He's become a reliable catch and layup, catch and dunk guy, and his presence on defense is greater than just blocking shots. Like it feels like he does have a good rapport with the rest of the team, good connection with them, where he can help anchor the defense and help people out and be effective in drop coverage, which is good because they're doing that with Porzingis, so the guys don't have to adjust too much based on the personnel on the floor. Like, yes, it's great that they can switch everything if Tillman's out there and Horford is out there, but if they have to be adjusting and dropping, then they have multiple guys that they do that with too. It's just nice for balance. It's good for like the pitch mix, like we talked about the other day.
Yeah, I agree. I think those two will split off. Next one from RJ, BTTTC. All right, morning, gents. BTTTC stands for biggest threat to the Celtics, given that A, the Celtics have the best record in the NBA by several parsecs. Did you know that the Bulls are closer to the finishing second in the East than the Bucks are to finishing one? That is crazy. The Celtics are legitimately 10 players deep, and C, or B, 10 players deep, and C, they keep demonstrating that they are overcoming their individual and collective shortcomings. There are non-BTTTCs. Wait, I just thought of 2. Boredom from being so good and fatigue from hearing long-winded know-nothings bloviate endlessly about what the next biggest threat is. Internal biggest threats that have been tossed around so far have been Al Horford's age, someone having to be a bench player. Brad was nuts to trust Hauser, Cornette, and Pritchard as the primary bench guys. Joe was nuts to trust Hauser, Cornette, and Pritchard as the primary bench guys. Celtics shoot too many threes. What if the Celtics don't shoot enough threes? Cornette needs to give up his minutes to Navy. Navy needs to give his minutes to Luke. Cornette needs to sit down in favor of Tillman. I'm just going from memory. I'm sure I've missed a few. Outside biggest threats have pretty much been any team that posts an 8-2 stretch over a 2-week period. The Cavs, Bucks, Knicks, Pacers, Magic have all had their moments and have all fallen by the wayside. The Heat live rent-free in collective consciousness of Celtics Twitter, but they aren't good enough therapists to cure that PTSD, sadly. Simple truth is this. Celtics are remarkably good, and they will not stop being good, and they are on course to get Banner 18, knock on wood. Let's ignore the noise and enjoy the ride. Be well, RJ, and the creator of hashtag Al Horford's left big toe, which is the real, only real biggest threat to the Celtics.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just March. Like, that's what it is. There's not a lot to talk about. Like, listen, Jack and I are in it, so we can come up with creative things. We can update you with news stories, and we have these games to react to. But, like, even having done the Pistons reaction last night after the game, we had nothing. It was just like, hey, they beat the team they were supposed to beat.
Pritchard
we don't really learn anything from this anymore other than they're not really playing around. Like, if you want to dissect that game, the takeaway can be, like you said, Jack, they didn't really play great, and they still won by 25. So just a testament to the talent of both sides of that matchup, really. We won't know anything until you can get excited about OKC. You get excited about the second Milwaukee game if anybody plays in it, which if I had to bet right now on March 23rd, the answer is no. And then the Knicks game is going to be the same thing. It's like one of the last games of the season. No one is going to care.
I agree. Yeah, it's just there's not much to talk about at this point. Next one, what's
biggest
popping?
Threat? Definitely hard screens as of right now.
Clearly.
And Draymond, if he ever gets his hands on Porzingis, the Celtics white European guy.
RJ, what's popping? Heat check edition evening, guys. Let's have a look at the remaining race in the NBA, shall we? 2 to 5 seeds. Only 3 losses separate the Bucks, Cavs, Magic, and Knicks. Of the 4 teams, Orlando's on a good run, 8-2 in their last 10. They have home games in hand, and they have a pair of games against Milwaukee. Meanwhile, the Bucks host the Thunder, Lakers, and Pelicans to close up March, then have to face the Celtics, Thunder again, and the Magic twice in the final week of the season. Orlando closes on a 9-3 run, and the Bucks slip to 6-6 in the final dozen. They end in a tie for the number 2 seed. The Cavs and Knicks finished 4-5, and my Magic 8-Ball says the Cavs have home court advantage for that series, but I wouldn't be surprised either way. The race to avoid the planned games goes to Miami, based on having 9 games at South Beach and only 4 on the road. Indy hosts Philly and wins the 7th seed. Meanwhile, the Bulls take down the Hawks, and then Philly get their ticket to Boston punched. As for the Celtics, I'm guessing they clinch best in the East Monday in Atlanta, unless the Bucks get taken down by the Thunder on Sunday. That's my guess. What does your dartboard tell you? Be well, RJ, whose predictions are as reliable as his jump shot. What are your thoughts? Who do you think's going where?
I mean, it's just really tough to tell. Like, we'll do the standings update in a minute here, and I pulled it up just to take a quick look. Like, I don't know. I did like a 2K sim today, and Milwaukee ended up at 6th, which I couldn't believe. But it's really not that crazy because in
From
RJ's
start
last
today?
email,
Like from today?
yeah, start today.
Oh, wow.
There was one that the Celtics like went 500 when I did it. Like, I'm not doing this for any show purposes. I'm just kind of screwing around on there, and then I get bored, so
Yeah.
I start a new one because the game is not good. But I could see Orlando jumping Cleveland. I feel like the Knicks are going to jump people too because they've been really good with OG, even though they did lose the other day. This play-in is a mess, though. Obviously, Miami and Philly probably aren't going to drop below 9 because do we really think sub 500 Chicago is going to leapfrog teams in this late stretch of the season? I don't think so.
I don't think so, but Philly's been really bad, and Chicago's been really not bad. Like Philly's 3-7 in their last 10. Chicago's 6-4. They keep on that pace, then Philly's.
Have we heard anything on Embiid?
Nah, not really. I think they're chalked. Their season's tough.
I would get a kick out of the Celtics getting Philly in the first round again and just beating them again. Like it would just be like another like kicking them when they're down. Like they will just never beat the Celtics.
I hope Embiid plays too. Just beat him again, just to prove it.
I don't know. I'm okay with playing the 3-7 in their last 10 76ers in the first round. I don't really need Embiid in the mix. I can just enjoy the beat down and be like, haha, Philly sucks, never beat the Celtics. I don't really care. Because if they're like, hey, we didn't have him beat, it's like, well, you lose anyway. Like it doesn't really matter if he plays or not.
It's true. Yeah.
But keep it all in the hypothetical.
Next one from RJ. What's poppin' in Joe we trust? At least I do. Morning, guys. For the past 2 or 3 weeks, I've been big on the idea of having the Celtics clinch the East quickly and then experiment with the stay ready guys as starters get some rest. Looking at the injury report going into Friday's game in Detroit, I wonder if Coach Mazzulla isn't flipping the script as a teaching moment. As I write this at 7:43 a.m., there is a good chance that one of the starting sticks takes the court tonight, and D. White. I could see him alongside Pritchard, Cornette, Hauser, and Brissett, let's say, is the opening lineup for that squad. Along with the deep bench guys and the lobster lad call-ups, we'll be tasked with the Celtics playing ball for the 48 minutes to get the win. Want everyone to learn and perform under pressure in the playoffs. Here's probably the best live fire opportunity a team could have. The squad can win out against the Pistons, not on talent, but with teamwork. Heck, let's imagine maybe it comes down to Pritchard and Hauser hitting a buzzer beater or Luke or Tillman tipping in a miss as the clock strikes 0. That provides an example for the top of the rotation players on how to close out without Mazzulla rubbing their noses in it. Just thought I'll share before the game. By the end of tonight's game, maybe I'll look like a genius. Maybe I'll look like an idiot. We'll see. Be well, RJ. Now, only if the first take folks could cop to their own idiocy. Well, Brown and KP played and they ruined your experiment, but unfortunately.
You know what? I want to talk about this stuff a little bit. I know the main goal is to make sure everyone's healthy before the playoffs, and I'm all for that. I don't think they should change this. But watching some of these guys have to step into slightly larger roles, like Derek White and even Porzingis to an extent, I don't love the efficiency dropping. Not saying that we should be worried about those guys, but I'm kind of concerned about what this might do for their confidence. Does that make any sense? Like, I don't think it's great to have, like, maybe it's good for situational awareness and situational muscle memory reflexes in the playoffs if they get doubled or extra attention from the defense. But I don't love Derek White having to go out there and be like, oh, I shot 5-14 again. That sucks, man. Am I still good?
I don't think that's a problem. I understand
Derek
why,
White, who
but
has
like,
talked about confidence issues, you don't think it might be a little problem?
No, I don't think so at all. I think they're to the point where they'll be confident in their role regardless. They know what they are when they're fully healthy. And I think it's more like getting them comfortable at taking potentially tough shots when they have to, like you mentioned. Like, I just don't think it'll come down to that. Like, and for what it's worth, I don't think Derek White has talked about confidence issues since the very start of when he got here. Like, I think since then he's like been like, yeah, my teammate has built us up. I don't know. I just
it's true, but
I don't think
it's there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that'll be how it's.
I'm not trying to knock him down.
Around.
Just, it's March. I have to think about stuff to talk about.
I understand it, and I get why like people could be concerned with that, but I just don't think it'll be a problem. I don't think that'll be how it's perceived from those guys. Last email from RJ. What's poppin'? Let's hear for the Lobster Lads. Nice job on playback Friday night, guys. I wish my Wi-Fi hadn't zoned out in the best part of the game.
It's okay.
Welcome. Specifically seeing Nemi, JD, and Walsh on the floor together at the end in a game that wasn't in doubt except for how ugly it was in long stretches. Really, if the defenses had gone missing for much longer, they would have wound up on the back of milk cartons. I greatly enjoyed seeing three main Celtics on the court together. They demonstrated that familiarity with your teammates can elevate your individual game into some beautiful basketball. Sometime between now and the end of the season, I hope those three get some court time alongside Pritchard and Hauser going up against other teams' 6 to 10 guys. I think they've earned that chance, and the game results would be fun to watch. Be well, RJ, and happy Purdue alum this evening, too. Yeah, Purdue got the job done against Grambling. But
by the time you're listening to this, RJ, another test is in front of you, buddy.
It's true. But yeah, good for JD hit a 3. Nemi had some buckets. Jordan Walsh dunked the ball. They did stuff. Good for them. They did some stuff. All right, let's go to the NBA section. Let's see how teams have been doing around the league. Celtics 11-game lead in the East. It is ballooned to 11. I don't think it's going anywhere soon. I think we can stop talking about the top of the East.
Largest win streak in the NBA.
W, as it should be. Middle of the East, and any win from here on out, knock on wood, will get rid of that little L on the side of it, which is fun.
What do you mean? I have a different standings up on my screen than you.
So they're 8-2 in their last 10. If they win tonight, they're 9-1, not still 8-2. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, I'll shut up.
Bucks 11 games back, Cavs 2 games back of the Bucks, Magic 1 game back of the Cavs, and the Knicks half a game back of the Magic. So that little race is tight, like RJ outlined for us. Pacers have sort of gapped out a little space for them in the 6th seed. They're 2 games behind the Knicks, but also a game and a half ahead of the Heat and the Sixers. Bulls and Hawks are in purgatory at the bottom of the play-in. They'll make the play-in, but probably not much past that. And then the bottom of the East sucks, to put it clearly. Nets have lost 5 in a row. The Raptors have lost 9 in a row. The Hornets have lost 3 in a row. The Wizards just won, Sam, sorry. And the Pistons have lost 5 in a row.
It's okay. We're tanking again. Got to get the first pick in a draft that doesn't have a clear-cut first pick. It's okay. Yeah.
Out west, Nuggets half a game up on the first seed. The race for the first seed is real. They're half a game above the Nuggets and 1.5 game above the Timberwolves. Thunder, Nuggets are 8-2 in the last 10. The Timberwolves are 6-4. Clippers are 5-5, and the Pelicans are 8-2. Pelicans are only game and a half out of that 4 seed. It's gonna be tough for them to get it with only a few games left in the season, but they have a chance. Mavericks 2 games behind the Pelicans, but they are tied with the Suns. They've climbed their way out of the play-in for now, but only half a game separates the 6 through 9, or 6 through 8, I should say. Mavs are 8.5 games back. Suns are also 8.5 games back, and the Kings are 9 games back. That's going to come down to the wire. Lakers 11.5. Warriors 13. The Rockets won 7 in a row now. Quickly,
they are breathing
Warriors
down the necks of the Warriors. They are only 2 games back. They've won 9 out of 10. Warriors sub 500 in their last 10. We have ourselves a race, fellas.
They're climbing up. They're ready. They're slowly inching towards it. And then the bottom of the West. The Jazz technically still have a chance, but they're done.
Lick their lips at the draft pick.
Yeah, these guys suck. At the bottom of this conference is terrible. Anyways, any other takeaways from the standings you got?
That play-in race in the West is going to be a lot of fun for me to watch. I would love to see an OKC Phoenix first round with Durant playing against OKC.
That would be cool.
That is like my one preference from this. I wouldn't mind seeing Lakers Denver too, because Malone just talks a bunch of shit to the Lakers and everyone gets all butthurt about it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like if I could pick any first round matchup, I would love to see OKC versus Durant.
My dream, I would like the Warriors to win their play-in game, beat the Lakers, obviously. But then I want the Suns to lose the first one, so we get a Warriors versus KD play-in game, and then KD Thunder first round series.
Oh yeah, it's a fun road.
That'd be a nice pathway. That'd be a nice pathway. I'd enjoy that. Anyways, another update we've got. Let's check in with March Madness. Sue's been playing well there. We've got the whole first round is over. Second round games are on today. I have it on right here next to me. Yep, I don't know if you do as well. But
what are you watching for your bet? You know you bet on it if you're watching it.
I need Dayton. I bet every under.
Me too.
Yep.
Me too. You have them to win?
Yeah, I just took money line for everything.
Oh, I have the spread. I'm alive. You're dead.
Yes, correct. But that's okay. We move. We have the rest of the day. Anyways, the biggest story I would argue from March Madness so far is Kentucky getting outed by this year's corked up white boy, as I saw on Twitter, which I just think is a really funny way of saying it. So I'm going to
I
keep
wish
saying
that's
it
how
'cause it's
people were talking about me.
right?
Yeah.
It's the dream.
It's
But-
never like a bad thing.
No,
Even
but
though
Jack,
it's definitely like a mean way to put this guy lit up the Kentucky Wildcats. Anytime anybody on the basketball court is being called a corked up white boy, you know they're cooking.
Oh yeah, and he's a great name too, Jack Gohlke. He's a beast. Great first name.
Celtics
but-
fan, I think. He had the
Yes.
picture of him in the Celtics t-shirt.
Saw it on Twitter, but I think the most impressive part about it to me, he wasn't taking like easy threes. Like he was
No.
just making ridiculous. We can watch them here. Oakland beat Kentucky in the first round. Kentucky played great defense on almost all of these threes. If Twitter wants to play the video, actually, which is probably not going to.
Good luck,
Twitter sucks now. Yeah, Twitter's terrible. But let's see. Can I actually play this? Here we go. Thank you. Okay, but they are like on his ass on all of these threes, and he's just making them anyways. Like it is
Missoula
insane to
ball.
watch him make these threes. For audio listeners, sorry, we're watching the video now, but like he is just on fire.
That one he just took was deep, but it was like the only one in this whole clip that is open.
Kentucky, like he made 10 threes in this game. This was a Hauser performance, and Kentucky had a hand in his face the whole time. All right, Twitter, fuck you. He's like a 5th-year senior too. Like he's not.
All of these guys are like
I
half
know.
these guys in the tournament are like been in college as long as Tatum has been in the NBA.
26 years old. Yeah. It's weird, but
He's
I mean,
26.
I think maybe 24. No. 26 is an exaggeration. He's probably like 24. He's probably like our age. I'll look after this, but
They got to start limiting this stuff.
well,
These
it's
guys
only
are just staying to collect the NIL money now.
it's only like that because of COVID. So it'll stop in the next couple of years because he got like 2 extra years for COVID years, and so this is a weird time for it. Let me look. Jack Gohlke age. He's 24.
Mickey
yeah.
Mouse college records being set. Everyone
He's
getting these
24.
extra seasons.
He's 24. It is funny. I saw some like loser on Twitter be like, Caitlin Clark, you got these extra years for COVID. It's the only reason she did this. And like, buddy, she only played 4 years. Like, are you like, do you just not check and you just assume like you go on this vitriol inspired rant on Twitter to like complain about
Mickey
her
Mouse,
breaking a
dude, Mickey
record
Mouse.
when she played the same amount of years as everybody else. You're just like assuming and getting mad online. But yeah, Oakland beat Kentucky. Yale just beat who did they beat yesterday? Who am I blanking?
Pistol Pete did it in 3 seasons for what it's worth.
Well, whatever. Who did Yale beat?
Yale beat up on Auburn.
Auburn. Yep, they beat Auburn. There was another upset that I wanted to note, and I can't remember, so I'm looking at the sheet.
Dayton is live. Just kidding.
What's the
they're still
spread?
down 11. They're still down 11, but my spread is 9. They just
Oh.
stole an inbounds pass.
What was I going to say? NC
Sorry,
State.
sorry.
I wrote this on the sheet, motherfucker. NC State has quote that big motherfucker. That's what I wrote on the sheet.
Everybody's calling
do
him
you know-
Zion.
So fucked up.
Did you see the thing where they gave him ice cream and then he just
no.
gave it away?
No,
Respect. Zion would never.
he'd eat that shit. You're the worst.
I like that you played along. Thank you.
I don't have a choice anymore. You're just gonna keep making jokes until I play along to get you to stop making the joke. What other upsets? Oregon beat their
Heck,
team that they played.
they
I
beat
can't remember.
South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And Texas
But Yale
Tech
and
also
Oakland,
lost to the 6th seed.
Yes, but Yale and Oakland were the big like upset teams. There was no 15 seeds that won. I think Oakland was the biggest upset at 14. So those are
Western Kentucky gave them a run for their money.
They tried. Who were they playing? They played.
Played Marquette.
Yeah, they tried. That would have been
We had them live at 8.5. It was brutal. They just started collapsing.
Yeah, that was tough. All right, next thing we've got is, the 76ers want Paul George. This is from Mark Stein of the Stein Line, his own newsletter, noting that the Sixers are basically still holding out hope that they can get Paul George this summer. Sixers will have cap space. Mark Stein writes, league sources say that Philadelphia continues to loom as an eager George suitor should he make it onto the open market and give the Sixers with their formal opportunity to try to lure him across the country. Sixers are said to maintain an interest in George despite the widely held presumption that he and Leonard want to keep playing together in their native Southern California. This
I
is
thought
why
he already
cap space
signed an
sucks.
extension.
No, Leonard did. Paul George hasn't signed.
Okay. You think they both would have did it?
Yeah, they were supposed to. Or George is like in talks, but apparently there was no agreement yet.
Okay.
I don't know. This seems like the Sixers. This is why cap space sucks. The Sixers are like, oh look, we could. No, you couldn't. He's gonna sign in LA. Like this isn't gonna happen.
I would hate it if he joined the Sixers. That would suck.
Wouldn't be great.
Keep him in LA. The Celtics won't have to worry about him. Not that I think Paul George is like someone with his best years ahead of him, but still, like I don't know. The Celtics
still a
have
little
this
annoying.
window to try and win a title. They have their guys. Tatum, Brown, Porzingis, Derek White through next season. Holiday, if he comes back, will also be a part of that. I don't know. I'd like to capitalize on all the talent on the Celtics team as easily as possible.
With this little resistance.
That's right.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't think they have a real chance of getting Paul George. They're just holding out hope for nothing. Next thing, Tom Thibodeau wants to stay in New York, which makes sense. This is from Sam Amick of The Athletic, writing that Thibodeau, quote, hopes to secure a long-term deal from the Knicks, with the two sides intending to discuss the situation during the offseason. I feel like this is the easiest thing ever. Just extend him. He's been good for you. Like this is the easiest layup the Knicks have ever had in their life.
I would love if they fucked it up. It would be so funny. It would be such like Knicks behavior. I mean, Thibodeau is the perfect coach for that team. He's full of grit.
They built it around Thibodeau, it feels like.
Yes, they have put gritty guys in this system that want to play for him, and he's loving it. That maniacal freak over there, Tibbs, just running Josh Hart into the ground every game.
Tibbs seems like a coach that you would love, like if he was your coach. Like I feel like you would love Tibbs.
I always have liked Tibbs, former Celtic. Respect.
Shout out to him. Is he? He assistant here? Am I forgetting?
Yeah, he was an assistant for the championship team.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
I feel like I probably
didn't know that.
I probably did know that and like forgot. Oh yeah, you're right. 3 years. Okay. Oh yeah, and then he got the Chicago job out of this. Yes, I see. Okay. I think I did know that, but I just am stupid. All right, let's go to March Madness bracket, shall we? Shall we go to our own bracket? All righty.
Snack time.
Yeah, we're doing snacks today. Snack foods. We found a snack food bracket on bracketfights.com. Shout out the website where we are stealing our content from this month. I appreciate you. All right. You want me to hit shuffle or you want to rock with what they got chalk?
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet.
All right. Let me pull it up. Give me a second. Here we go.
Shuffle a couple times. Do 3 shuffles.
Right. 3 shuffles. Shuffle 1, shuffle 2, shuffle 3. Here's the shuffle. All right. Matchup mode time. Number 1, we got Flamin' Hot Cheetos versus Chex Mix. The Cheddar Chex Mix. Thoughts?
I'm not a Chex Mix guy, but I'm also not a Flamin' Hot Cheetos guy.
I love Cheddar Chex Mix. Cheddar Chex Mix.
Okay, put it through. As somebody that doesn't have an opinion, I value yours.
Big fan of Cheddar Chex Mix. Very good. Flavor Blasted Goldfish versus Cheez-Its.
The Flavor Blasted Goldfish are amongst my favorite snacks.
I'm really glad you said that because I think Cheez-Its are wildly overrated.
Okay. The Flavor Blast is like crack.
Flavor Blast is elite. Triscuits versus Animal Crackers, specifically the Barnum's Animal Crackers in the little box, which is I think
classic.
Yeah. I love Triscuits. Every once in a while I'll grab Triscuits and some cheese and I'll just eat it as like my little snack. Very good.
Yeah.
Animal Crackers also good. I would say I'm pretty indifferent here, so I don't know if you have an opinion.
My favorite iteration of a Triscuit is the honey mustard flavor. You ever have that?
No. I haven't.
Change your life good.
I've had my favorite Triscuit is the triangles, you know, the little thins.
Yeah.
Those are my fave.
But you see here that the box is the original.
Yes.
I'll do the animal crackers. I feel like animal crackers are an iconic snack.
Animal crackers very good. Very distinct, I'd say. Next you have traditional Chex Mix versus barbecue Lay's. I only like the cheddar Chex Mix. I'm not a huge like normal Chex Mix guy. I also don't really like barbecue chips, but I put them through out of respect because I know
I don't really care for Lay's chips, but I would rather have that than Chex Mix.
Yeah, plain Chex Mix is garbage.
You know what chips are good are the Quest chips. Have you ever had the Quest chips?
I have. I don't love them. They're just like kind of weird. They taste like
normal chips to me.
I don't know. They taste off. I think that's your brain training yourself like the seltzer.
It is. I was just about to say, well, I just don't eat regular chips anymore, so I actually can't tell you.
Yeah. Cheese balls versus sour cream and onion Lays.
Cheese
Thoughts?
balls fucking suck, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. You know who loves cheese balls? My mom. She loves
Really?
cheese balls. Yeah, she's like that's her.
They're
That's her
awful.
thing.
They're like stale Cheetos. Like Cheetos are good, and they're the same kind of snack. But cheese balls are just a worse Cheetos.
Yeah, I don't
The
know.
puffed Cheetos are good.
I wish I had something for you. I don't know why she likes them, but you said you
Plus
also don't
sour
like
cream.
Lay's.
Well, sour cream and onion is a good chip flavor. So
I
just
agree.
object. Like, I'll take the Lay's. Baked Lay's are not bad.
Not bad at all. I agree. Sorry, I'm adjusting our faces so we fit into the screen. Yeah, I agree. All right. Sour cream and onion Lay's. Next one, we've got Bugles versus the Nutty Bars. Wow, this is my childhood. These are so good.
This is a cameo, a return.
Both of these things are so good. I used
Yeah,
to
Bugles are fire.
my thing with Bugles, we used to go to the Y a lot when we were kids, like the YMCA, and I would always get Bugles out of the vending machine there. Like that is my Bugles memory. I couldn't tell you why. I don't know, like I don't have an answer for you, but like my memory of Bugles is getting them out of the vending machine at the Y every time. Like that was our treat. We got to have Bugles every blue moon. And so I was like, yeah, it's Bugle time. And so that made me really happy to get Bugles. Nutty Bars are really good though. Nutty Bars are so good though.
I love chocolate peanut butter. I am a fan of
That's my
Bugles as
thing.
well. I do like the sentimental value that Bugles have for you.
I think I might have to go Bugles because of how like there is nothing anywhere that is close to like what a Bugle is. You can't replicate that. You know what I'm saying? Like you can get some other like chocolate and peanut butter thing, but like Bugles are Bugles. You got regular Cheetos. I think they just say crunchy, but those are just plain Cheetos, I think, right? Or are those crunchy specific? Okay. Cheetos
No, those
versus
are the small ones, not the puffs.
Gotcha. Cheetos versus Wheat Thins. I love me some Cheetos. I feel like you're gonna say Wheat Thins though.
I love me some Wheat Thins, but I also don't mind Cheetos. I think Cheetos are an iconic snack. I like those Cheetos. They're good. With
I don't
like
know if they're on here.
Jelly.
I don't know if they're on here. Baked Cheetos are the best Cheetos.
I've never had the baked Cheetos actually.
They're like baked Lays but Cheetos. They're very good.
Healthy.
Not really.
Yeah.
I'm down for either. I don't care if we pick. I like
put the Cheetos through. I feel like if we don't put them through, people are gonna get mad.
All right. Honey mustard and onion pieces Snyder's versus Pringles. This is a huge matchup. These are both very good. I'm a fan of
the
both.
honey mustard pretzel pieces are my favorite snack.
They're great. I think favorite is egregious, but they are good. So I will not complain about putting them through. They're very good. So I'll back.
They're so good, man. I used to keep a bag of those just on my desk.
They're very good.
Fucking house them.
Mm-hmm. Cheddar Chex Mix versus Flavor Blasted Goldfish. The Goldfish go through. They're very good.
Yep, Goldfish are an absolute diesel snack. I do love the Flavor Blasted.
Animal Crackers versus Lay's Chips Barbecue. I'd go Animal Crackers.
I agree. I think you need some sweetness here. Barbecue chips are fine. I don't even know if Lay's has the best barbecue chip.
They don't. I don't love barbecue chips. Sour cream and onion Lay's versus Bugles.
Bugles are a fire snack, like plain and simple. Better than Lay's chips.
I'm in on Bugles.
Yeah.
Then Cheetos versus the honey mustard pretzels. I don't love Cheetos enough to back you down off the honey mustard.
I love the honey mustard, man. It's like the Wheat Thins or Triscuit honey mustard, but on crack.
Flavor Blasted Goldfish versus the Animal Crackers. I think the Goldfish go through. These are phenomenal.
The Goldfish are great. Like, have a sandwich, just pour some Goldfish out of the. Mind you, it's in that gigantic carton.
Respect.
Of Goldfish.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Love it.
And then Bugles versus the Pieces. I'm okay with putting the Pieces through.
I just think the Pieces are so good.
I think the Pieces should lose the Flavor Blasted Goldfish, though.
I agree. I think the Pieces have a premium feel to them, too. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm getting more. But I am a big fan of the Flavor Blasted Goldfish, too. Both of these are top tier.
Are so good. I'm in on Flavor Blasted Goldfish. Dayton just made the worst pass I've seen in my life. Next, we've got Lay's Chips versus Stacy's Pita Chips, Simply Naked.
What the fuck?
You've never had pita chips?
How the hell did these Stacy's chips get in?
You've never had Stacy's chips?
The Virginia of the snack bracket.
I think you are missing out. Stacy's chips sound like they're right up your alley. They're like a
Really?
healthier option. Like Stacy's chips are good. They're really good. They're not Lay's, but they're good. Like I've eaten them before. My mom gets them a lot. I think you'd like them.
Maybe. I'm putting Lay's through, regardless.
I agree, but Stacy's chips are good. Don't sleep.
Stacy's chips do not have it going on.
Tostitos original tortilla chips versus Ritz crackers. Listen. My argument, tortilla chips are great because like salsa, queso, guac, you need them. If I'm getting that for that, I'm getting like the restaurant style, like a different, like specific niche brand of chips because they're better than Tostitos. Ritz crackers are phenomenal. I'm a big fan of Ritz crackers.
You ever
Those
have little
stacks,
cheese and crackers sandwiches? Like you make
I
it,
don't,
like you take
I don't
like
make
the
the
sliced
sandwiches,
cheese.
but I do put sliced cheese on the. I don't make it into a sandwich. I just have it.
Yeah.
My favorite is the little stacks you get, like the Ritz stacks, like a little
Like with the
package.
shitty cheese in it, though.
No, not even cheese. I'm not
What do you mean
talking.
stacks?
So like you can get a whole box of Ritz, right? But they also sell Ritz in like these little travel things where like you can bring it to school. And so there's like you get a box of 6 and you get 6 individual little sleeves of Ritz with like 15 crackers in it. You can bring these like little stacks.
Oh, serving size. I like that. Yeah.
I like Ritz. I'm in on Ritz.
Yeah. Ritz
I haven't
through.
had a Ritz cracker in a while. Ritz good. Fritos versus Ruffles. These are 2 bottom tier chips for me. I think both of these chips suck.
See, I feel like Fritos are the same kind of thing as Bugles. They're just different shapes.
No, not at all.
I think Fritos are good. I don't like Ruffles, though.
Fritos at all. I don't like Ruffles. I don't like Fritos either. I'll put.
Do we
Fritos
feel
for
like
you,
we should
but-
be partial to Ruffles because they have a Jason Tatum back?
Nah, Ruffles stink. Ruffles are
Yeah,
bad.
all right. So does Tatum. Fritos through.
No. Smart Food versus Cosmic Brownies. So, Smart Food is my favorite snack in the world.
Is it really?
I fucking love. Smart
Okay.
Food. In high school, I would sit. I vividly remember like snow days or whatever. I would sit at my desk. It may sound like a loser, but it's okay because I love what I am. I would sit at my table. This is before I got a desk in my room and I moved, because I moved rooms and I got a desk, etc. And sit at the kitchen table playing League of Legends with a glass of chocolate milk, but not like store, but like milk and like Hershey syrup, chocolate milk, and a fucking giant bag of popcorn. And I'd call out to my dog, Charlie. I'd go, popcorn time. She'd come running over. I'd just feed her a piece of popcorn to eat one. And I just sit there all day with her, like sitting right there eating Smart Food. Popcorn is top tier. I fucking love Smart Food. It's phenomenal.
Does Jack have more sentimental snack stories than I have sentimental stories in general?
I think so. Perhaps.
I Smart Food can absolutely go through because you care about it, but I don't care for the white cheddar flavor. I like Smart Food. I love popcorn as a snack, but white cheddar is just not my thing with that.
Smart Food is so good.
And I like cheese.
I love Smart Food. We've got the purple Doritos versus Cheetos Puffs. I think any puff thing is wildly overrated. I don't like the puffs.
I like the Cheetos Puffs.
Really?
That's my favorite
I'm not on
Cheeto.
puffs.
Yeah.
I don't love the puffs. I don't like purple Doritos are like mad to me too, so I don't mind putting it through. But
I like
puff
Cheetos
guy.
Puffs. Yeah, like with a good peanut butter and jelly that has like too much of both things on the sandwich.
I think you just
Fire.
like peanut butter and jelly.
But like when I was a kid, I would have
I know what you
Cheetos
mean.
Puffs with the peanut butter and jelly.
This is the same as your story. This is a story.
Yeah, I'm gonna cry.
Cheddar and sour cream Ruffles versus plain Goldfish. Goldfish are good.
Goldfish
I
are
love
one of the
Goldfish.
top snacks. Oh, that's awful.
I love Goldfish. Nacho cheese Doritos versus cheddar cheese combos. Have you ever had
Fuck combos. Those things suck.
Yeah, combos are
It's
just
gross.
off-brand.
It's got that gross cheese that they have in like the packaged Ritz. Doritos through. Easy.
Yeah, I don't like.
Easy 1 versus 16.
Ooh, French onion sun chips versus Harvest cheddar sun chips. Now, I told you that Smart Food was my favorite snack. Harvest cheddar's knocking on the door.
I like Harvest cheddar as well. That's a good selection. The salsa garden, whatever the hell it is not bad either.
Also
Yeah.
very good. Yeah, sun chips are maybe the best chip. Lay's chips versus Ritz crackers. I'm in on Ritz.
Ritz.
I'm in on Ritz
Easy.
crackers.
Lay's overrated. Probably the worst mainstream chip. There's nothing to them. There's nothing in the bags. Awful.
You need baked Lay's. Baked Lay's is good.
Baked Lay's, yes, very good.
Fritos versus Smart Food. I won't allow it. Smart Food's going through.
That's fine.
The Puffs versus Goldfish.
Goldfish.
Cheetos Puffs versus Goldfish. Okay, good. I'm glad.
Goldfish are
I wa-
just like a good snack. Like
Mhm.
it's just the right thing.
Red Doritos versus Harvest Cheddar Sun Chips. Sun Chips clears, in my opinion. I think far better.
Really?
Yeah, far better.
Oh man,
Love
I feel like
Harvest
it's
Cheddar Sun
Doritos.
Chips.
I think Doritos is in the final.
I think Sun Chips would win the bracket over Smart Food, and I just told you how much I love Smart Food.
All right, put them through because I'm not having Smart Food get all the way there.
Harvest Cheddar Sun Chips are fucking different.
Oh, well, Ritz might have a shout actually.
I would choose Smart Food, obviously, but if you were willing to concede in the last one, I can give you Ritz if you really want Ritz to beat Smart Food.
I just like Ritz. Like I could eat a whole sleeve of Ritz, even without anything.
I could too, but then I'm gonna have to have Harvest Cheddar Sun Chips beat Goldfish, and then we can have to have a fight about the next thing. But I picked Harvest Cheddar's the sword that I'm willing to fall on over Smart Food.
Jack is married to the Sun Chips.
Sun Chips are good.
I do like the Sun Chips though.
Harvest
It's like a
Cheddar
good like you don't they're marketed as healthy even though they're the same as
not.
everything else.
Yeah, they're not. I sit down and I'll eat an entire bag of those Sun Chips. The whole bag. Full size bag. The whole bag of the Sun Chips.
Oh my god.
I will eat the entire fucking bag of those Harvest
How
Cheddar
do you
Sun
do that? Just have like a sandwich or something.
I just want the Sun Chips. They're just there.
It's hard. You can't eat chips because you can just keep going. They should have like a
I don't
portal
go
at
into
the end
it.
of a chips bag where it's just infinite.
I don't go into it expecting to eat the whole bag. I'll just look down and be like,
You
oh,
know
they're
you're
gone.
gonna eat the whole bag. You're full of shit. You open a bag of chips, you know you're hitting the bottom, and you're doing the thing where you have to drink, like you have to pour it in your mouth to get all the crumbs. I do it too.
Harvest Cheddar Sun Chip.
You have to.
Sorry, I have to. I will put them. I would put them over Flavor Blasted Goldfish, but I won't. I think we can come to an agreement on Flavor Blasted Goldfish being a
Flavor
so
Blasted Goldfish are like Yukon.
This is crack.
Yeah.
This is crack. And for context, I have never eaten a whole box of flavor. Imagine sitting down and eating that whole box of Flavor Blasted Goldfish.
See, no, you can't do that. That's the beauty of it because you come back, you have more left.
Exactly. You just can't do it. Dayton's really playing with your line here, Sam. They're really fucking.
Yeah, they're just fouling him. Just fouling him, man.
All right. Let's wrap up with the rat list here. And then we can get on out of here, Sam. Would you like to kick us off here? I don't really have much, so I'll let you have to carry this rat list here.
So I'll start off with a you know what? We'll do rat list. Rat list, the pause timer in MLB The Show. The pause timer in MLB The Show is far too long. It starts at like 3 minutes, and as the game goes on, if somebody fucks with you and pauses and bleeds it down, it gets replenished as you keep going. Like you don't have a set locked time that you can pause for. You have to get it replenished. It's awful.
So I was 3 minutes every time you pause?
I don't know if it's 3 minutes, but you get a little bit extra back.
Okay, I see.
Now, I would hate to play me in MLB The Show. I murdered somebody today. They quit. It was 8-0. I had a 5-run first inning with a grand slam. Truly, like, I would be devastated if I played a game against me. But MLB The Show is like crack. The problem is you got people just sitting there on the pause. One thing I'll say this year is last year, they had an issue where the game would just like get stuck. It would freeze. And if you left, you lose.
Yeah. I
have not had a freeze yet.
Okay.
Good on that.
Knock on wood. Knock on wood. I'll rat list myself. So I said it on the pregame or the playback or something yesterday. I broke my glasses again, so I had to super glue them. And so I go to get the super glue. Super glue. Apparently I didn't close it all the way, and so I find it, and it is just completely super glued to my desk. Like all the super glue has leaked out. It's fully on my desk. There's a big clump of it on there now. So I had to claw and pry the super glue off my desk just to get it to work. But now there is all this residue all over it. So whenever I touch it, I just have these little like patches of super glue all over my fingers, and they're not coming off. Got on the back of my phone too, like this little streak that's just not coming off. My own fault. It's just very annoying. It's rat list.
Yeah, it is a rat list. Tuesday cannot come soon enough for you and your optics there.
Well, the best part is, or the worst part, I'm not even going to get the glasses that day. I'm going to get my prescription, then they're going to have to order the glasses with my prescription.
Oh, no. They can't give you new frames, though?
Maybe
Can they
could with
give you
these,
new
but-
frames of what you have just so they're not broken?
Well, I'd have to pay for the new frames and the new frames with my new prescription, so I'd just be paying double. So it's just not worth it at that point.
Do you need a new prescription?
Probably.
I don't know how that works.
We'll see.
Sad though. All right. Ratless, this lady at the gym today. Now I am injured. I am unable to run for a long period of time. I'm gonna play in the game tomorrow. I'll be okay. I'm feeling better for what it's worth. I am feeling better. But when I am not able to run, I'm such a freak. I need to keep some sort of routine, which I've not been great with this time. So I'm doing the bike. I'm on the bike. I like the bike. The bike is a different workout. It works different muscles, and I am tired as fuck when I'm done with the bike. I'm on the bike. It's a little busy. They got all the TVs in front of us. Gentleman comes over. He looks at the bike next to me. It has it is a out of order little tag on it from Planet Fitness. So he's like, "Oh man, they got me," and like sits next to me. Guys, fire W. Even though he stayed on the bike for like 4 minutes, I feel like he got discouraged. Or this woman came over. Now there was another guy in between that fell to the same fate as the first guy. Went over, got excited to use the bike, had to go find a different bike. After these two gentlemen have, found their own new bikes, this third person comes over, this lady. She sees the tag. I point to her, and the guy next to me is like, yeah, like, got it, all of us. Like, welcome to the club. She just takes it off and starts riding the bike. She just took it right off.
What?
And then I think the guy next to me, the first guy that was a great individual,
Yeah.
he got off the bike, I think partly to try and give her somewhere where she could ride, because that one wasn't supposed to work. But she just stayed on after he got up.
Yeah.
Awful behavior from her. So rat list.
I agree. I have ratless court of sorts. Just your opinion.
Okay.
What's your opinion on this? So, are you get mad at people on the road, obviously, right?
I
You
get
ever
mad at
flipping it-
everybody.
You ever
Don't
flip
even have
anybody
to be
off
on
when
the
you're
road.
driving? Are you not a flip somebody off when you're driving thing?
Not really. I don't
I
even have a gun.
Yeah, I did yesterday. I do every once in a while, only when I'm really mad. And then, but you ever do it and you feel bad after because they look at you and you can tell they know they fucked up? Because that's what happened to me
No.
yesterday. So I was driving. On
Don't spoil it.
the road.
I
don't know if
we
you're-
might not be aligned on the game.
I don't know. We're both sorry, this is ratless. You guys don't care at this point. We're both watching Dayton, Arizona. They just tried to inbound the ball for me. I don't know.
Yeah, I have 11.2. They're doing it again.
Yeah, me too. But I am in the second from the right lane, trying to get in the right lane.
No!
Oh no, did Dayton miss?
They turned it over.
Oh no.
I lost by 1.
Disaster.
Fuck!
That's such a bad beat. But I was in the second from the right lane, and I was trying to get into the right lane. So I put my blinker on early because like it got to the point where like a couple of cars like came up and I'm like, all right, let me put it on, make it clear I'm going. Somebody goes from the middle lane because it's a 4-lane highway, from the middle left lane, swerves all the way behind me and into the right lane to pass me on the right. All the way like around me as I'm swerving in. So I had to like go like this and like get out of the way and like jerk my wheel back to the left. And so I'm pissed, obviously, because I almost got in an accident for something I had my blinker on for like 20 seconds.
Correct.
And so I flip them off. I get one of
Respect.
those. And then they come up on the right and you could tell they're like, I'm sorry, my exit's here. They like felt bad. I'm like, fuck, now I feel bad because like sometimes you got to get to your exit.
No. They
But,
got to
like,
plan better. If you know your exit's
Exactly,
coming,
okay.
you know the exit's coming.
So this is why I
Even
asked.
if you're not from the area, the GPS is like in 2 miles, take exit blank to get to your destination.
Once you get under 3 miles is when you need to be like, okay, I need to get over. Like when you see
Correct.
the 2 in front, that's when you got to get over. So okay, I'm just checking in. So I won't ratless myself for that. But
No.
it was that like
If
like,
people
I
are
get
bad
it.
at driving, they need to be told they're bad at driving. And if
Good.
they're doing something that's putting you in danger, they need to be told they're bad at driving.
Okay, good. So my middle finger was justified then. Good to know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think we should all have like lights on our car. Like, you know how like restaurants have open signs?
Yeah.
There should be one that you can like flip a switch that's like on each passenger window in the
Says,
back
"Fuck you."
seat. That's like either you're terrible or maybe even a my bad one.
My bad,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, my bad one wouldn't be bad.
I wish you had a hand up, my bad.
Yeah, but you can't flip them off. They could have a gun. Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
do it. Can't do it.
At the risk.
All right. Rat list this car in the Stop and Shop lot. Now, I went to Stop and Shop one of the days this week. It might have been the day I went to get my ankle brace. So I'm going in early. It's like 8 a.m. I have a good spot. I am first row, but I'm not able to pull through. There's somebody on the pull through side. So I'm parked behind somebody. Go in the store. I come out. That person is left. Spot in front of me is open. I can drive through, right?
Hell yeah.
Wrong. Whoever was in front of me left their cart from behind their car in front of me. Ratless. Terrible. There should be surveillance, and I should get like a $25 like gift card from that person. They should have to pay me $25.
Well, I've talked about it all the time. If you don't put the shopping cart back when you're done shopping, like, you're a bad person. I believe that.
Well, there's like the people behaving badly guy or whatever, and like he's like, "Did you put your shopping cart away?" and like chases them down with a camera. Never seen it, but I've heard about it.
Yeah,
you can't be that guy, but
it is like the easiest form of don't be lazy. Just do just do the bare minimum. It is the purest form of it.
You got to be a real scumbag, dude.
I agree. I do it every time. I put it back every time for this purpose.
I leave it every time.
No. I make a point to put it back every time, like into one of those like shopping cart. Like, they literally give you fucking spots for it. At most, it's 3 spots away. Like, what are we doing? Walk 10 feet. Come on.
You're asking a lot out of some people,
man.
My original rat list, like forever ago, like it was. I don't think it was on this show, but I was so mad. Is when I was at the community college. There's an elevator, and all the classes are on the 6th floor of this building. So you come in, you got to get in the elevator to go up. I would hate when people would use the elevator to go up 1 floor. And I like made a Reddit post about it, and I got killed.
Really?
Yeah, they were like, "What if they have some injury that you can't see?" Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, but I was just like, I don't know.
I agree.
Just take the stairs.
The only place I use the elevator go up 1 floor is the parking garage when I get home, because the way it works is like there's 2 sides to the parking garage, and sometimes I'll just walk up the stairs anyways, but sometimes like it depends on the
Sometimes
day.
it's closer.
Well, yeah, exactly. So the way the parking garage is, like, I park my car on this one side. We'll call it the right side for intents and purposes. And I come down the stairs on the right side when I get to the game. But when I come back from the game, the stairs on the right side are closed. So all you have is the stairs on the right side. So it's either go up a flight of stairs, walk all the way across, and then walk to it, or just take the elevator and walk right there. So it's like, and usually there's nobody there either. So like I'm not inconveniencing anybody, but that's like the only time. Other than that, like I take the stairs up to the garden every time instead of the elevator, because those elevators are fucked.
Yeah, respect.
My last rat list is my ankle. I turned it again on Friday at ball. It's cooked. I'm feeling it today.
Surgery.
Yeah, it's not a good time. It's not fun. I'll be there tomorrow. What time's our game tomorrow? Do you know?
8.
8. Perfect.
I don't know if you saw the text chain today. First place.
Are we 2-0?
Yeah.
2-0 is
Top
first.
of the league.
Are there any
point
other 2-0
differential
teams?
too?
Oh shit! Well, we
won by like 43 last week.
Well, shout out Brock. Brock was just fucking killing them.
Sam Hauser on the same day. Both redheads, both on St. Patrick's Day, had themselves a blast.
That was all time. Sam Hauser's a redhead, is he?
I mean, is he a redhead? He's a ginger.
Sam Hauser?
Yeah.
I thought he's blonde.
He's definitely like a ginger.
Kind of red. No, I see it. I've
reddish
always
blonde.
blonde.
It's like in the middle, but
I see what you're saying. No, I see it. Yeah, fair. Okay. I've always in my head he's just always been blonde, and so I guess I didn't really notice. I guess it's a mix. Sure.
Yeah,
I'll give it to you. That's all I got. You got anything else?
No.
Alrighty. Well, in that case, we can wrap it up. Thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate it very much. We should have said this at the start, but we'll say it now, and we'll say it again on Monday. Tuesday, we are going live for a new thing we're testing out called Celts of the Round Table, I think is what we're calling it. It's going to be us with, tentatively, Bobby Karitsky of SI Media Group, Cam Tabatabai of Celtics Wire, Noah Dalzell of Celtics Blog, Justin Turpin of WEEI, and Kari. Oh my God, do I not know Kari's last name? I'm a terrible person. Kari, I was gonna say I thought it was Thompson, but I just know it's Kari Thompson of Boston.com. Thank you. I just had a panic attack. I don't want to get Kari's last name wrong. But the 7 of us will be live for Celtics the Round Table. It's gonna be an hour of us talking about the Celtics, having fun, playing some trivia as well. We're gonna do it whenever we can. We're gonna work out a schedule, maybe like once a month, once every other week, something like that. I'll come at you on this channel live 6:30ish on Tuesday night. So mark that in for you. Sorry, Kari, for forgetting your last name. I had a brain fart. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe to How About Them Celtics. Leave a like, and we'll let Sam wrap it up.
Yeah, thank you very much for watching or listening. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our daily uploads. We're coming at you every day with something new. 5 a.m. the videos drop. We have Talkin' C's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Live 11 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, some other time on Friday, usually a bit earlier. Like Jack said, Celtics at the Round Table Tuesday around 6:30. Be there. Debut stream. It's going to be fun. Good people, good views, good minds, good Celtic stuff. Spotify and Apple. Subscribe. Follow us there. Hit the 5-star review. Yeah, hit it. Hit the 5-star review. Yeah, whatever. You know what those services do. You can find us on socials at How About Them C's, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. The Facebook is just the name of the podcast. Our streams are there. They're on YouTube and they're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter is at Jack's NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.